Jeremy Feffer, I'm a managing director at LifeSci Advisors, which is the investor relations arm of LifeSci Partners. LifeSci Partners, the umbrella company, was founded in 2010 by two individuals, one investment banker, one PhD in chemistry. And the idea was to marry the Wall Street focus and the scientific focus to help partner with life sciences and med tech companies on their journey. So we work with public companies, we work with private companies, early stage private companies. The common thread is helping them achieve their objectives. So if it's in the life sciences, helping them raise money to run clinical trials and develop their assets. In med tech, similar, but obviously we're looking more at commercial stage or early commercial companies. Same mission is help position them to be most successful in funding their companies and achieving their aims. Within the investor relations business where I sit, we are focused on a few core competencies. Number one is corporate communications. That ranges from helping with investor presentations, helping with press releases, helping with any outward-facing messaging. The idea being that we want to keep it consistent. We want to keep it compelling enough to tell the story that is going to resonate with the investors or the target audience. Next is investor outreach. We have a 35-person global team of former Wall Street professionals whose sole job is to target the right investors, do the outreach to those investors, and then collect feedback. The idea is we want to, whether a company is actively raising capital or for a public company that is just seeking to enhance their shareholder base or improve their stock price, we want to find the right investors who are going to be most interested and ultimately help a company achieve its aims. So in med tech, we kind of work at really at all stages of the life cycle. Ideally, we start at Series A. We do have some pre-revenue, pre-commercial med tech companies we work with, and it ranges then all the way up to publicly traded, deep, 100 million plus revenue companies. The idea is that we seek to partner with companies early on and provide services for them along that journey. I mentioned LifeSci Partners as the umbrella organization. So advisors, where I work, is the investor relations business, but we have some other businesses under the umbrella that can serve earlier stage companies. For example, we have our LifeSci Associates affiliate, which provides fractional C-suite services. So early stage company trying to raise a Series A or Series B, maybe not ready for a full-time CFO. We can drop a part-time CFO in to help build the models and work through the paperwork to get a financing round done, and then drop in and out as needed. We have an executive search business that will place full-time C-suite, commercial organization professionals, board members, really anything a company might need as it's growing. We have a public relations arm that helps with social media, build social media campaigns, clinical trial recruitment, helps with commercial launches, works with medical societies on, to support any kind of product launch. So we have that service. We have an investment bank that can actually transact and help actually execute a financing. But within the investor relations business, again, we seek to partner over the long term. So if it's helping make introductions on a Series A or Series B, then help through the next round, then help them prepare to become a public company, start to convert the introductions to public market investors, make introductions to investment banks and sell-side analysts to help think about what an IPO syndicate might look like. We help on the strategic side with IPO readiness. We help with S1 drafting. We help with putting an IR website together. We help with the basic nuts and bolts of what a company needs to be ready to be public. And then we take them through that journey and help with quarterly earnings once they're public, ongoing press releases, et cetera. Again, our firm is called LifeSci, and the implication in there is therapeutics based. And when the company was founded, it was with a primary focus on biotech and biopharma. Over time, we have evolved more to build out our medtech practice, and we've recently added some senior professionals from around the medtech space to help prop up that side of the business. And so I think, listen, we're the services we provide, I think, are universal, and we'll continue to do those. I think what we want to communicate to companies is we are becoming more of a medtech focused firm. We have the capabilities, we have the individuals and professionals with medtech experience to be able to apply the services and tactics we've done in biopharma and yield the same results in medtech. Where we differ from other firms that in this space is that we do the direct investor outreach. Investment banks will do it in the context of a deal. The key for us is we will do it anytime. We call them non-deal roadshows. We're doing them when companies don't necessarily need to raise money, but they want to be out there. They want to tell their story and spread their message. We do more non-deal roadshows a year than most investment banks do. To put a little context behind it, we run an annual event around the JP Morgan conference in San Francisco every January. This year, we had 165 clients attend our event, and we booked over 4,000 investor meetings. That's why companies come to us, because they want access to the investors who are going to help them raise money and or help invest in their companies. But it's not meetings for the sake of meetings. It's targeting the right people, right? So with our expertise, with our Wall Street expertise, with our scientific expertise, we know who the right investors are, who are going to matter to each company, and we try and get them in front of those companies. I think we have some specific case studies in medtech specifically that we're particularly proud of. One of the most successful medtech IPOs in recent years, Inspire Medical, in the sleep apnea space. We started working with them in 2016 when they were still a private company. We helped them raise money. We have helped them raise a private round. As they were progressing toward an IPO, which they eventually executed in 2018, we helped them run their banker bake-off to help them put their syndicate together. We organized a very large in-person KOL event. Again, this was pre-COVID, so these were still all in person. It was attended by, I think we had 60 people in the room. We did the bake-off. We helped manage them through the IPO, and then we took them through to help them grow into a public company. We continue to work with them in some capacities, not in a full-fledged basis anymore, but because ultimately you get to a certain point, they brought in an internal person. But we look at that as a case study of how we can help companies grow from early stage private, guide them through an IPO process, and then help them shift their communications to appeal to a public investor audience. We manage their analysts. We build consensus models and help them think through guidance on a quarter-to-quarter basis. And we've replicated that with other companies. At present, we're working with NeuroPace, which has just completed a successful funding, $75 million follow-on offering, 2/3 of the proceeds of which they used to buy out one of their initial venture investors, and bring in some needed capital, which should be sufficient now to get them to cash flow positive. We hosted an in-person investor day, and some of the investors who attended that did participate in the financing. So we're proud to partner with them on that. On the private side, we worked early stage with Beta Bionics, helped them raise their Series B. which then launched them into a Series C, and they were the first successful medtech IPO of 2025, and we congratulate them on that success. Again, we ran an in-person KOL event for them, which helped guide them to a successful Series B raise, which again launched them and put them on the map with a lot of investors. And so, these are, I think, some examples of med tech companies that we can help guide. We come to this wonderful event here and meet companies that are reminiscent of the Inspire Medicals and Beta Bionics from years ago, and we can see the same path as these companies continue to progress. And we look forward to the opportunity to partner with them, help them raise the money they need, and get them to the point where they can go public. And what we'll do, which is, we know for a fact different from other investor relations firms, is a few things. Number one, we come in with a 5-person team that's comprised of senior level professionals. So we'll have a senior level relationship manager who's the kind of quarterback of the relationship, supported by an associate. We then have a senior level communications person who's going to be the point on all outward-facing materials, the investor deck, press releases, earnings scripts when public. Then we have a member of the team, a senior member from the corporate access team, who's going to be responsible for investor targeting, actually booking investor meetings and collecting feedback. And then we bring in one other core competency I didn't mention before. We have an events team whose sole focus is to organize KOL events or investor days or R&D days. We joke that the one good thing that came out of COVID was that all these events, all these KOL events shifted to virtual. And that's one of the remnants of COVID that hasn't changed. And we actually find it incredibly productive and cost efficient to do these virtually. And what we mean by this, it's a 60-minute event where management will speak for 15 to 20 minutes. We'll get a key opinion leader who is a practitioner with familiarity with the product or service. That person will speak 15, 20 minutes, and then we have Q&A. It's a webcast recorded event. We typically will get 50 to 100 people live. We'll get another 1 to 2x that watching a replay. And it enables the Wall Street community, investors, analysts, even strategics to interact with management, interact with a KOL, ask questions. Because we know that when a company is trying to raise money, the investors who are doing their due diligence, a big piece of that due diligence is going to be to speak to KOLs, to get that third-party validation. Everybody knows the management team believes in the company, right? We want to hear from the actual users. In some cases, we've actually had patients come on and talk about their experience. If it's an implant, if it's a diagnostic, what have you. We want to hear directly from the doctors how they're using it, and we want them to be candid. Are there areas of potentially for improvement? But it gives the investors an opportunity to interact directly with them and ask questions. We know that they're going to reach out to physicians in the course of their due diligence. We want them to do it in a way that the company can brand and put their logo on it. So we bring a person from the events team in there. So when you sort of put it all together, we are, I think, the only firm that can provide both the tactical execution with the strategic advisory, right? We're going to be your thought partner and help you think through the next 18, 24 months and then execute on the specific deliverables that are going to be necessary to get there. We are global. So our headquarters is in New York. We have a big office in Boston. We have teammates all across the United States. So LA, San Francisco, Chicago, Philadelphia, a couple in Florida. We are also, as I said, global. We have an office in London. We have teammates throughout Europe, in France and Switzerland, one in Germany. And we have a fairly large office in Tel Aviv. And we work with a lot of Israeli-based companies and Israeli investors. We have clients across Israel. We have clients across Europe. We have clients in Asia, Latin America. The common thread for the companies that come to us are they want access to investors. Many of them, many international companies may want access to U.S. investors, and we provide those services. At the same time, there are Israeli companies that want access to Israeli investors, and we have a team there with deep relationships, and we can make those we can make those introductions. Same in Europe. We have teams that can provide access to investors, institutional, high net worth, family office investors all across Europe. And again, that is for the benefit of American-based companies or European companies. Management can sit in California, the physician can sit in Florida, the investors are sitting everywhere. We will do them in person, right? So if we have companies, like for example, we work with some companies in the diabetes space, and one of them is the American Diabetes Association meeting in Chicago in June. One of our clients is going to have an in-person event, and so our events team can actually drop in and help organize an hour-long, 90-minute-long event in person, but we'll simulcast it, and it'll be webcast, so folks who are not in Chicago will be able to watch it and punch in questions, which we can take live. Otherwise, they can watch the replay, and we can set up follow-up discussions if there are questions. So we really try and be as flexible and as accommodating as possible. And again, coming back to the common theme, it's all about access to investors and how do we put companies in front of the right investors, and how do we get investors access to the companies they want to meet. The key is we're looking to partner with them, right? We don't look at these as transactional relationships like investment banks do that. I have nothing bad to say about that. That's the nature of their business. Our business is to partner with companies, right? We're not in it to, well, let's help you raise your next round and then say goodbye and come back when you're ready to raise again. We want to guide you through this journey. It's not a straight line. There are a lot of bumps in the road. There are, regulatory hurdles that are outside of companies' control. There are macro issues always, right? Markets don't always go up. We're in a relatively more volatile era right now. And we're here to help companies manage through that. How do we help them achieve the outcome they want amid all of the externalities that might be challenging them?